We the black and brown movement, it's time you recognize.
Put your hands up.
Who to despise? We the black and brown movement, you need to recognize. Who to despise? We the black and brown movement, you need to recognize. Who to despise?
Roll up your sleeves and pull your bootstraps up. Little boy shaking like leaves, they need to man up. Stand up straight, it ain't too late to stick your chest out. Pull your chin up and pull your pants up, cause it's too easy to read ya.
Around here thinking they can bite me. I'm the man that you be taking too lightly.
Not too easy to take heed of ya while your finger fucking your phone all over social media. Cyber bullies and hoodies trying to pull the woolly over your eyes. Who to despise is not these fly guys. Who to despise is the ones that come from the skies in disguise with their lies. From the meat they doom and demise. I hope they make a revision to the decision that ain't wise while we rise to the occasion. It's an invasion of the mic snatchers. They roll with mad ratchet, they can't catch it. The cleverness, I take a cleaver or a hatchet to the evilness. Until they believe in this, their intentions are mischievous. You're not relieving us from our duties. You way too booty. Can't touch a mic cause you got them cooties. Even though we forsake them, we'll still make them put their hands up. Without them drinking from the cup, they will tea like let us. They need to let us get filthy and recognize who to despise.
Put your hands up.
We the black and brown movement, you better recognize. Who to despise? We the black and brown movement, you better recognize. Who to despise? Who to despise? It's not these guys. We the black and brown movement and we own the rise. Open up eyes, cause we're setting new trends. We got your eyes focused in and you know what it is. A new mending situation of the black and brown. Too lightly. You took me too lightly, so I come to invite thee through this lyrical microphone session to entice thee to the positivity of what it is to be. Don't you understand? You shouldn't despise me. Nor my black and brown brothers who come together loving others, but they didn't understand. We discovered the peace and unity was the key to success. So here we go once again, representing the West. No stress, no mess, no conflict. So here we go once again, we have been sent and coming through, breaking it down, doing what we do. But we're still trying to get you to understand what's true. Who to despise is not these guys, the black and brown is opening their eyes, cause we own the rise. Set new trends and fashions, but y'all still wasn't getting the question that we asking. Why my people still lagging in the back, natural fact, but you didn't wake up to see where it's really at.
Put your hands up.
Who to despise? Not these guys. Black and brown movement and we own the rise.
And not afraid to get filthy.
It's time you recognize who to despise. We the black and brown movement, you better recognize who to despise.
We the black and brown movement, think right, mad verbals one. And me, TAC, Redbeard, the feared one.
Recognize who to despise.
Those who despise are the ones who hide from the sun.
Running around here thinking they can bite me.
Took the black and brown movement too lightly.
We in the lab on a nightly basis, cooking up these concepts by the cases. The ingredients of the melody, the treble, and the bass in your faces.
Movement. Positivity, strength in numbers, niggas too busy slumbering. Here we go once again, yeah, and we're plundering. To the bottom of the plateau, no reason. They still ain't open up their eyes and start seeing who to really despise. It's not these guys. The black and brown movement open the eye, cause we on the rise.
On the rise like yeast, attacking these beats like beasts until they decease.
You better recognize who to despise. It's not the black and brown guys.
Need to open up your third eyes. Stop playing defense and choose a side.
Shout out to all those that know who to despise. Recognize. One love movement.
Yeah. Yo, world, you know what it is. You know what time it is. Once again, it's the Black and Brown Movement Radio Podcast, episode 23, coming at you live. About to hit you in the face with it. You know how we get down. Get ready.
Yo, Redbeard, the feared one. Those who despise are the ones who hide from the sun. Black and Brown Movement Radio Podcast. We got some guests in the house tonight, and we're very honored to be have them in our presence and on the podcast tonight. Ivan C, going to give us a little Spanish intro, not too long though.
No, of course, already not too long. Bienvenidos a mi gente afroamericano y latino movimiento, época número 23. Mi nombre es Iván Castillón, the devious one, Ivan C. one of your co-hosts. Okay, I'm here alongside it with the red bearded one. The red bearded one. Like this less, yeah. Can't even pronounce it. I know, I do.
Give me the mic, man. So, real quick, before we get into our usual intros and anthems and whatnot, I'm going to introduce our guest tonight. You know, we got our movement honorary member, brother, family, long time, you know what I'm saying? My man, Darkside. You know, just, you know, introduce yourself to the folks, give them all the acronyms, and you know how you do.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the illustrious and praiseworthy Darkside 90042, hard work representative, hip hop Congress representative, Artists United to End Homelessness representative. You know, I wear many hats, and tonight I'm a podcast guest here with the Black and Brown Movement podcast, man. Episode 23, so I hear.
That's the one. That's what it is. That's what it is. And I'm gonna introduce you to my man. Go ahead and you know, introduce yourself and you know, let everyone know what you representing and why you here tonight on the podcast.
All right, my name's Lee Ballinger. I'm an author, a poet, a producer. I'm very delighted to be here. Appreciate the opportunity, and I'm here representing Artists United to End Homelessness.
Artists United to End Homelessness. That's you know, homelessness, we already know is a huge problem in our community. And, you know, to have artists uniting to end it, as Mr. Ballinger said earlier, the key word to, you know, to their movement is to end it, you know. You can't put a Band-Aid on a cut and expect it to heal, you know. It's time for us to really get the suture kit out, you know, and sew that thing up and, you know, get the Neosporin and, you know, metaphorically get this thing, you know, healed, you know, together. And so we appreciate you guys coming out. You know, that's pretty much the theme of the concept of this podcast tonight. Oh yeah, we know. I mean,
There's a cure for homelessness just like there's a cure for cancer.
yeah, because cancer is man-made. So, you know, if they created it, then they can end it. You know, you know, and man created homelessness.
$1 trillion.
You know, and we can end it. So we're gonna do that together. So we're gonna get into our regular intros. You know, I'm gonna give you before I start with the intro and purpose of the podcast. Brother Marcus and I, you know, co-founding father, we're about to go ahead and give you the anthem. Go ahead and lead it off.
We, the Black and Brown Movement, believe that civilization began in Africa. Through the migration, we arrived at Aslan. From east to west, we're all people of the sun. Through 400 years of blood, sweat, and tears, 500 years of resistance. The few things we would change through bravery and persistence. The gospel, the culture, and the music.
That's what it is, man. Worldwide, you know. Let me pull out the intro and the purpose to the podcast real quick. But, you know, it's a blessing tonight to have these brothers in the house, and we're going to talk and get into, you know, what the Artists United to End Homelessness is all about. So just give us a second here. We'll be right back with you. All right, folks, we back. Black and Brown Movement Radio Podcast, episode 23. 23. You know, English y Espanol, you know what I'm saying? Black and Brown Movement. You know, we got to give shots out. Indica Productions. We just dropped that 9/11 Brothers on the Block. You know, we already getting some controversial feedback on it, you know what I'm saying?
We
some
don't
people,
care.
We don't. You know, all feedback is good feedback. Negative, positive. That means, you know, you paying attention to it. So be checking it out. Is available on iTunes, Deezer, you know, all the major platforms. But yeah, go out and support that, because, you know, always part of our proceeds go back to the nonprofit Movement Material Inc. You know what I'm saying? So positive minded apparel, hip hop for the people, Indica Productions. You know, my man Darkside's here. You know, he told you everything that he's representing, and as he mentioned earlier, you might have heard, might not have heard, you know, he represents us as well. And yeah, shouts out to my man Bruce Roberts and Morel, Casey Mero, you know, Prevolution, Cherokee Rose Productions out there in Atlanta doing their thing. They putting together, you know, a network of MCs across the nation, and we're going to be helping to manage that. UHHM, Universal Hip Hop Museum. You know, my brother Marcus is Mad Verbals, Mad Scientist, is part of the, part of that Fashion Liaison. Shouts out to Silky D, Mike Skilo, all the heads. Carmelo Alvarez, Class One, Radiotron, all that. We'll get to more heads, as we always do. Just wanted to make sure we shot that out. Yeah. So let me go on and give you the intro, the purpose of this podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to promote independent underground artists, whether they be graffiti, dancers, painters, poets, DJs. No matter what your art is, we're here to promote the positive relations between our black and brown people. And we do not discriminate because we are what? IMC. That's international multicultural, which means we are worldwide. No borders, no boundaries, no limits, and no gimmicks. That means no whack MCs. We're the voice of the people. We hope that our message is received across the globe, near and far, east, west, north, and south. So again, we're here for United Artists to End Homelessness, and I want to give my brother, who's a big proponent of it, a promoter of it, as well as everything else he's doing. Darkside, go ahead and man, pump it up and let the people know what's going on with it.
Oh, for sure. But first of all, I gotta do righteousness and let the listeners know that I've been knowing these cats for a really long time, since we were young bucks running amok. And I just gotta say, man, I'm proud of you cats. Like, the shit we used to talk about,
right?
It's being done.
Right.
Like, it's actualized. We spoke about it, we used to cheat around it.
Yep.
And now it's actually going down. So I'm proud of you guys 100%, bro.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, yeah.
I appreciate you guys keeping me involved and keeping me a part of it. I know I haven't been able to be as much hands-on as I'd like to be, but I've always been a big supporter of what the movement's doing, Black and Brown movement. So I'm here. My purpose is twofold, but we'll start with the first. Is to there's a huge problem going on in the world, man, and people can say, oh man, it's Trump, or people can say it's Republicans, or
Obama did it, whatever.
But the truth of the matter is that the root of the problem is capitalism.
Right.
And so a necessary element for capitalism is homelessness.
Right.
They have to have the homeless population in order to have that scary monster that if you don't toe the line and live the capitalist dream that they're selling you, which is unattainable for most,
pipe dream,
then you'll be homeless. So they need to have that. And so we are here to say that we are not commodities. We are not dollars.
Right.
We are human beings.
Right.
And every single one of us is a human being, from our greatest to our worst.
Yeah.
And we need to treat each other like human beings.
Word.
And so, homelessness is to us the issue that's on the forefront of everything that's happening right now.
Right.
That if we eliminate homelessness, that is when the world is truly on that tipping point where it has changed.
Right.
I represent a group called Artists United to End Homelessness, and I was invited to the group by a good friend of mine named Lee Ballinger, who's here tonight with us, and he'll tell you a little bit more about the history of the group and everything like that. But I just think it's a great thing to get involved with, man. I think it's a problem that everybody is on the precipice of. Like, you could have a lot and be living comfortably. But the statistic is that we're all a handful of paychecks away from that homelessness.
Absolutely.
And people that that you stand next to in line at the grocery store, that you work with, people that family members are homeless right now. And the definition of homeless is important too, right?
Yeah.
You do not have your own. So some people think, I'm not homeless, I live with my brother. Or I sleep on my uncle's couch. Or I got a garage converted at my grandma's. No, that is not.
Well, you're a teacher. You know the definition of ignorance is lack of information.
Exactly.
And that's this world thrives off of. Punking people for that factor, lack of information.
So
I know what homelessness is. I went through many years of it. I finally, I'll be going in my second year.
That's why we're here.
Of not being homeless.
That's why we're here.
This place that I'm in right now, I've been blessed to be in.
You stayed with me, my
brother. Stay with me.
You know what I'm saying?
We were doing our thing. We're holding it down, man. We hold it down for each other. And so again, that's why we're here. I'm trying to yell it off for the rooftops. So if any of the listeners want to get involved, I'm gonna start. Usually we put it, usually in podcasts and stuff, it goes at the end where you're like,
it's gonna go throughout.
I'm gonna start it now.
Yeah.
In the beginning, saying if you want to get involved, the easiest thing to do is search up Artists United to End Homelessness on Facebook. There's a Facebook group, or you can go directly to aueh.org online. That's there too. There's you can if you have content that has either you are homeless yourself or you have content that focuses on the idea of homelessness, you can submit it, and your stuff might get put up onto the website.
Right.
You can also, contact us there, leave your information and stuff like that. The Facebook is probably the easiest one because we don't have like a central core group. The .org might be a little lagging.
Right.
It's there's a couple people handling it and nobody's really on top of it every day.
Yeah.
But it's there,
Right.
and when more people start contacting us there, then we're gonna have to get more on top of it. So I'm asking your listeners to hold us accountable.
Yeah.
Get on the website and bring us to it and make us keep up with it on a daily
Use your
basis
voice,
because the
people.
demand is there.
Use your voice.
That's what this platform is for. Black and Brown Movement Radio Podcast, episode 23. This is, what it's about. This is what we do,
Exactly.
So
So I'm gonna let Lee tell you why you should get involved and call us. 'Cause he's gonna tell you the history of the situation and where it comes from and why we're here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first I just want to say thanks a lot for having me here, and we just met briefly, I don't know, a month or so ago
Right.
at a gig, and I'm not surprised to see there's a lot going on, and I'm very happy to be a small part of it for a minute. So, Artists United to End Homelessness, key word there is end. People talk a lot about ending homelessness, and that's not really what they mean. Some of the people are lying, such as the mayor of the city.
Politicians,
But mostly, probably 24/7, that I understand why people are confused. So we need, in order to make a change, you've got to introduce something new. And so all right, we're talking about ending homelessness. How are we going to do that? Well, before we can even think about actually ending it, we have to be having a conversation about ending it.
Right.
Ending it is not feeding people or gathering clothes for them or these type of things. Those things in general are beautiful.
Right.
The way that we look at it is, in the main, it's people like ourselves. Even like you see someone at the off ramp and you give them $1.
Right.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Then there's a whole level of poverty pimping, which is something else again.
Right.
That operates, it might seem like the same thing, it is not the same thing.
You're talking about how to end it.
So, in order to end it, we're going to have a national debate. A lot of people don't want to have that conversation.
Boy, there's an elephant in the room.
That's very free flowing, but we're going to talk about ending it. How can we end it? Well, let's just frame it like this. There's 18 million empty housing units in the United States of America.
18,000?
18 million.
Oh, 18 million. Empty housing
units.
units.
Apartments, houses,
in America.
condos, yes. Just sitting there, water's on, electric's on, no one's allowed to live on them, and then you walk outside and there's someone living on the sidewalk.
Right.
So, take the people without houses and put them in the houses without people. Well, why do you think you have a right to do that? First of all, a very large percentage of these houses are owned by the government.
Right.
How did the government get them? Through our taxes. We paid for those houses.
Right.
Now I need a fucking house.
Right.
Well, you can't get in it. No. Because, of course, the government is all tied in with the real estate industry.
Right.
And the banks are almost inseparable now.
Right.
And even if you want to talk about all the other stuff, which is private property, only you get the bank owns that. You can't go. Well, in 2008, we gave the banks $13 trillion.
Right.
What do we get in return? What did they use the money for? To keep foreclosing, to keep pushing people in the street, to pay themselves bonuses. So we gave you $13 trillion. Now I don't have a home. Where's my house?
Right.
The houses are there. This is not Afghanistan, poorest country in the world. It's the richest country in the world. They're there. They're ready to go. They're move-in ready.
Yeah.
So it's a very simple concept. Now, there's a lot of shit in the way. The banks, the government, the real estate industry, the police. These are problems.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to get quite large, quite unified, quite clear in our thinking. But conceptually, it's not. What's complicated is, we're gonna build some shelters. We're gonna have a bond issue. We're gonna do this. We're gonna like this guy. You don't know what they're talking about, which is it's supposed to be confusing.
Right.
In 2 years ago in LA, we passed $1.5 billion bond issue to build shelters, not really housing, for the homeless. How many shelters have been built so far?
I don't know. I don't see them. I still see tents and shit everywhere.
Settle.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing. So we embrace the solidarity of being. When I was homeless and someone gave me some calories, I appreciated it. But the next day I didn't have no place to live.
Right.
And this first we have to get this concept over, and the only way we can do it is to introduce it like it is. And I would compare it to the movement to abolish slavery. When that began, we'll say around 1830, the concentrated, simple idea, emancipate all slaves without compensation right now. Oh, no. No, we're gonna have to pay the slave owners, and maybe in 200 years send them back to Africa. You can't say that. That's too extreme. Well, 35 years later, it happened.
Right.
And it happened because that idea was constantly being put out. So we see of course, the world's somewhat different now, but it's the same situation. We put that idea out over and over and over again.
So what you're saying there is making enough noise.
Yeah.
Right.
Who can do this?
Right.
Who has the skills to affect the hearts and minds of
platforms.
American people? Artists.
Right.
Artists of all kinds.
Right.
And artists, I know you all know this, but artists ain't just like Jay-Z, which that's fine.
Yeah.
But artists is everywhere. If we just walk down the street, and I don't really hardly know where I am.
Right.
And start knocking on doors.
South Central LA, but yeah.
Yeah. Once people see that you didn't mean them any harm and you're having a conversation. Oh yeah, I got some paintings in the closet. I made a movie on my cell phone. I got some tracks over. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's tens of millions of people.
Right.
So part of our vision is we got to bring them people out, sharing their gifts and coming together with a common purpose.
For Artists United to End Homelessness. Get it again.
Yes, sir.
Artists United to End Homelessness. Black and Brown Movement Radio Podcast, Black and Brown Movement. All of our affiliates are going to support this thing. I don't know if there's a contract for us to sign or what. I know you're here. We're meeting on it. We support it. We are down to do whatever. We're doing it right now. We're putting it out there. So I know I can speak for my movement brothers and say that, we're on board. We're artists and we're united with you, and so we're down to be a part of it, and excited about it, because one thing I can say is my wife, she works for the county, and she works to house homeless families.
Okay.
And she's worked in different aspects of that and with different programs. She used to work with Weingart Foundation, other county programs. Yeah, they had their issues, and like you said, a lot of programs lie. A lot of politicians lie. There's a lot of propaganda, as you said, but I know, and I've seen my wife, and I've had her come home talk about mentally ill people and the issues that they've gone through, and the loops and the hoops that she's jumped through to help these people. And so it's happening. It's out there. People are out there. People do care. I completely agree with you on the artists uniting, and if the artists show that, like you said, they have influence, and they have followers, and they have people who might not be artists but will be down with the cause. And so every artist is gonna bring those people along. And so I know off the bat that we've experienced homelessness, and we have people who are experiencing it now, and we have people that are working, to fight against it. So we can bring in possibly some of those resources to help as well. And so, yeah.
Dude, I want to say two things on that point, just real quickly. One is that homelessness is an issue that I would say majority of the people are going to acknowledge that it's an issue that needs to be solved.
Right.
And we need to find a solution for it. Only the hyper-capitalists that know that they need this as a piece for their mechanism to work properly would say, that's their fault. It's all their fault.
Right.
And they're followers. But to me, they're ignorant. They're batshit crazy, if you ask me. Secondly, is that if we look at our most recent, most powerful movements, music has been on the forefront. We can think as far back, I would say, probably further than that. But in my knowledge and experience, I would say something like the Vietnam
War,
anti-war movement.
Right.
I wasn't there for it, but I've seen what went down, and music was on the forefront of that.
Civil rights movement.
The civil rights movement as well. I mean, there's a civil rights mixtape. I highly recommend people to check that out.
Right.
All the way up to like just Siri X with the Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
And all the movements that he's working with. If we look at the Dakota Pipeline, there was a heavy music influence with Taboo doing a song that won a Grammy, I think.
Right.
Or I know one of his songs won a Grammy.
Killer Mike, Bruce Banner. Yeah.
Definitely. So you put those two things together. We need to end homelessness. It's the biggest problem that we face right now. And then two, musicians and artists of all types and all walks of all skill levels need to be on the forefront, because that's how you get them.
Yeah.
That visceral feeling that art creates within you.
Yep.
That is how you get the message across, and that is the most powerful and impactful and sustaining way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about artists, musical artists, we'll call them audio artists, but the fact that you involve artists of all kinds, as you mentioned, it brings in the element of visual art. And when you combine those two, the impact of those, is hard to deny, you know what I mean? So, do you have something else you wanted to add?
Well, along with, we were just talking a minute ago about taking an accurate look at how many artists there are, which should be something that makes us feel very confident that we can accomplish these things. Let's look at, there's also kind of a distorted picture of the homeless in that the idea that's put forward is it's only the kind of folks that you see on the street. Now there's more and more people on the street, as will continue to happen. That's true, but also 15% of all college students are homeless across the country and in LA. So you go on a college, so maybe you walk down the street, some elements of homeless folks are somewhat obvious.
Right.
You go on a college campus, like I live about half a mile from West LA College. You go on that campus, you can't tell. You can't tell, but they're there.
Yeah.
We had an event last summer at one of our people's church, and the main speaker was this woman, Adelina Lang, beautiful young woman, very nicely dressed, very well spoken, and her message was, hey, I just graduated from college. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I'm living in my car, and I've been living in my car the whole time I went to college.
Right.
Which kind of shook people up in the way, we're not trying to freak people out, just let's see how big a thing it is.
Yeah.
Almost half of all people in Southern California under the age of 34 have never left home. Not just that they had to come back home.
Right.
They've never left home.
Right.
Well, that's homelessness.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be living with your mom and dad when you're 32 years old.
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
The house is full of conflict, and this and Oprah's doing a show about when you should throw your children out the street.
Right.
All this kind of nonsense. But if we added all those numbers up, what we would see is that homelessness is affecting, if not every single person in America, the majority definitely.
In one way or another.
Yes.
And the different dynamics is what you're mentioning of homelessness. It's not just the people that you see on the streets.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we can see. So what is the significance of the movement to end homelessness? Isn't just it's a problem. It's people are struggling, hurting. We got to deal with it. That's all true. But it's something that can unite most people that need to be united. Homelessness also is a problem for everyone, right? Black and brown, true, but also white, yellow, red.
Absolutely.
All ages.
It doesn't discriminate.
No, not at
Just
all.
like cancer and some other things we know.
And
By the
that's-
time, it doesn't discriminate, yeah.
So, if we look at the vast amount of homelessness, the vast amount of artists, we can put all this together, we're going to have something. And
Yeah.
I think homelessness, there's a lot of issues in America that pretty much mostly tied to poverty, one way or another. But my point would be homelessness is everybody except the 1% is being pushed down.
Right.
If you're homeless, you're on one side of the spectrum. If you're over here working a crappy job with no benefits, you're kind of a little bit up. But
Yeah.
my point only being, homelessness is the most glaring example of this process that's affecting the vast majority of people. So that's the place to get something to stand up, make noise, force a real discussion. It's in everyone's interest.
It's interesting if you think about it, how, a lot of people are not even talking about it as much nowadays. It was maybe, I don't know how many years back, but the fact of how the middle class has been eliminated. And I think that's what you're saying, and we all are aware of it, but we got to kind of maybe bring that concept back to know that now it's either have or have not. You know what I'm saying? You're either rich or you're poor. And you know what I'm saying? And that's the issue. And so really it's about empowering the poor, the impoverished and the homeless, and to do so, like you said, you have the 18 million, available units. We get 18 million homeless people off the streets, and now I don't know how many of them, but what percentage of those
it ain't even 18 million, bro, because if you think about it, the largest percentage of homeless people, I don't know if it's currently that way, but at one time, not too long ago, was children.
Yeah.
And so those are members of families. So
Right.
we got homeless families.
Yeah.
So that family
That's what my
one
wife
home.
specifies.
You feel me? Those,
Yeah.
those families only need one home.
Right.
So, we
So
don't
now
need
you
all
just-
18 million.
Right.
There's still, if we house every single homeless person, there'd still be millions of homes that they could sell on the market.
Yeah.
It's like, the something that Lee had told me a long time ago, and we say it a lot. It's kind of like the mantra of the organization is nobody's guaranteed a home until everybody's guaranteed a home.
Right.
That's the raw truth.
Yeah.
Everybody that has it can lose it tomorrow for any good
Yeah.
reason or bad reason.
Yeah.
Even up to certain levels of the elite. There's certain circumstances where they're going to be asked out and find themselves hurt.
Yeah.
So what?
There's also, the government also owns 77,000 empty buildings all across the country. They're not doing nothing with them. They don't intend to do nothing with them. People could be hired to give jobs to convert them into living spaces of various kinds.
Right.
And where people can move in there as well.
Wraparound services.
The idea that there's
On-site.
not enough in this country.
Yeah.
Like I said,
It's
again,
ridiculous.
Afghanistan,
That's not an
maybe
idea.
not.
That's a falsehood. That's a
There's a term for it. It's
Right.
called
Yeah.
manufactured scarcity.
right.
There was a time where things were scarce.
Yeah.
That's not anymore.
Go to the
No.
mall
Not
and
anymore.
tell me we don't have enough shit to go
They
around.
throw away
Right.
more food
Yep.
than we consume.
Yep.
Basically.
Absolutely.
And that can feed hungry people, but the laws and regulations get in the way of all that. Another thing I wanted to bring up too is if we talk about artists and we talk about homeless, I don't know if we've already touched on it, but I just wanted to make sure that we touched on talking about homeless artists.
Right.
There's a lot of people out there on the streets. I mean,
Starving artists,
all you
right?
gotta do is look at what
Starving
I'm talking
students, starving
on
artists.
this
Yeah.
level.
There you go.
All you gotta do is search them Facebook videos long enough, and you'll find a video or a number of videos, but one I'm thinking in specific about a man who used to play the piano on the street. You know how they put the piano
Yeah.
down? And he was a genius. He was killing the game to the point where somebody saw
I think
the
I
video.
know you're talking
and they
about,
pulled
and they
him out
scooped
of
him up.
homelessness,
Yeah.
And they put him on, and it was mental health issues that were put
Yeah.
him, that put him on the street. Drug abuse issues.
Another example was the one gentleman that used to play with Santana.
Oh yeah.
That video,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
and where they found Santana found him and pulled
Yeah.
him out, like yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that's what we want to talk about too. I want to give a shout out, and I don't remember the brother's name. Maybe you do. The cat that used to do, or he still does, portraits of the homeless folks. He came to a couple of UVH meetings.
His name's eluding me, but I know. Yes, I know him. I know who you mean. I haven't seen
Yeah,
him.
there's a name for the for the organization that he has, and so this gentleman goes out and he like meets and interacts with homeless folks, and then he paints portraits of them, and then he sells the portraits, and the proceeds he gives to the person who sat, you know, whose portrait it is.
Right.
A portion of the proceeds, and we let him tell that it's a large portion. And they were just on the BBC the other day.
Oh, wow.
I saw him on the BBC the other day on a podcast that I saw on Facebook. You know, that the BBC has a video podcast or a video show. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. But that's just one example, you know?
Yeah.
You might not be directly affected by homelessness, but you can use your art to bring light to this topic.
You can affect homelessness.
Definitely.
You, like you say, you might not be directly affected by it, but you can directly affect it with your support. Go to the Facebook group, United Artists to End Homelessness. Go to the Facebook group, get educated on it. You know, start with the like and the support, and you know, give your comments. But if you want to get involved, you know, these brothers right here, as long as us, you can get at us, and we'll get you to them, and we'll work it out.
We want to make sure that we send to the right place. So it's Artists United to End Homelessness.
Right.
We gotta make sure we got that in the right order. Artists United to End Homelessness. Facebook page, AUEH at the .org on the web, and you know, this is an issue that we all need to you know, we need to deal with.
Yeah.
And everybody can do something.
Yeah.
Don't think that, you know, you have to be like on that precipice to go out and do something. And we don't want to discourage you from doing things like feeding the homeless or giving them clothing. Sure. But we also want to challenge you to take a step beyond that, because that still lets a barrier be there.
Yeah.
I am the giver, you are the recipient.
Right.
But let's be more human with each other. You know? The other day I gave a brother $5 and I sat there and had a conversation with him. I didn't just give him money and walk away.
Yeah.
We talked.
Yeah.
I didn't ask him why he's on the street. I didn't ask him anything. He had a dog with him. So I asked him about the dog. You know, hey, it's a beautiful dog. We talked about his pet. And then I gave him those $5 and I said, you guys take care of each other. You know?
That's right.
And those $5 is gonna, you know, get him and his dog something to eat, and that's it. That's all I could do at the moment. But I treated him like a human being, and I could tell that as I walked away, I was impacted in such a way, but I knew he was too.
Yeah.
And that made me feel good. And you know, it's the little bit that we can do, but it's something. Yeah. And if it doesn't cost any money to be nice.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I get mad when I see these rich
simple acts of kindness.
Teslas and shit at the light, and they see the dude right there. You know, I'm like, I'm on Social Security. My pocket is tight in a motherfucker, but I'm giving dollars and shit. I'm not tripping because I know where I got it from. God, the Lord blessed me to even be sitting here talking to y'all. I just celebrated 28 years this year on 420 to be blessed to be here or survive being shot 13 times. But I've been through the homeless plight. I noticed like people are foul. Even your own family members, they treat you fucked up. And it's just a simple-mindedness that people use because they haven't been in the struggle. And that's what changed. When you've been through a struggle, I grew up in a struggle.
Yeah, you have
my life
respect for
has
it.
been a struggle. Yeah. So I know what it's like. Then when I fucking hit homelessness, he'll tell you I was psychologically fucked up. Like, the fuck? How did this happen? And the system failure. The system is fucked up and it's a bullshit system.
And so that's
social service is full of shit because they're not servicing none of the social needs. And I can tell you from my own experience. 2007, I had all 3 of my kids on my case. They wouldn't give me no housing. Man stole the money from me. I was supposed to get a place in Palmdale. Food stole the money from me. I reported the same day. To this day, as we speak, the county has not taken an investigative report or done any investigation. They came at me. My ex-wife filed fraudulent charges to block child support and different shit. I thought they was trying to get me on fraud with the county. The system is not set up to really help. But you can come from out of the country and get all the help in the world from the social service system. So it's really
we gotta focus. We gotta keep it focused though on the bigger picture too. Like the personal story is deep.
You know what I'm saying? Hopics is why I'm here where I'm at now.
One of the programs my wife worked with,
program
helping the house.
That helps people that
mental
have health
health
issues It don't matter what it is.
Working for those that are working but they're homeless.
But they also have
you don't have a job.
Sure.
Yeah.
And see, that's part of what we're doing here too. Like we came here to make a meeting and then also do the podcast, and so that's like we know y'all have resources that we would like to be exposed to as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And get our.
Yeah, I can't stand seeing people out there,
say,
man. It makes me sick.
We need to, as I was saying, right? It doesn't cost anything to be kind, and we got to do this because we've seen the politicians. The system is not going to do it.
Yeah.
My brother Marcus just talked about how the system
failed him.
Listen, so I hate all them cats. Antonovich. I got a list of Don Kanabi, Antonovich, Willie Thomas, all of them. Solis. I hit every district up. None of them people did anything. You know what this one lady at the Pasadena office told me? I'm calling. I'm on a bumper. Miss Rojas. Shouts out to Miss Rojas, the Pasadena District 3, because she was honest. She said, Mr. Jones, they're not going to do anything for you because they already put the money on your EBT card. I said, what the fuck? I can't live on my EBT card. I had to take the money off the card in order to give the man the money to get housing. And then it was stolen. And they didn't do nothing. I had all 3 of my kids on my case. So it makes no sense.
That's a perfect example of how we can't trust the system. We got to do it ourselves.
Public Enemy said the best. You can't trust them.
So the easiest way you can do it, if you ain't got a dollar to spare, or you ain't even really got anything to pull out and give somebody, you can give them a smile and an acknowledgement that they're a human being, and that costs you nothing.
And give them knowledge of that.
And as a matter of fact,
that
could feel good.
And it can have more impact sometimes than something material. You know, give them some more hope, you know.
I've had a homeless gentleman tell me, he said, you know, this conversation has been the best interaction I've had in about 5 years. He goes, because you made me feel like I'm a person.
Right.
That's the problem right there.
I'm almost tearing up right now.
At the program that I'm at, my worker, Miss Cunningham, she's fucking awesome. She's been relegated to be a mentor to the other workers at the program because they don't have what it takes.
Yeah.
Because they've never experienced
they don't have that
the
heart.
struggle.
Yeah.
No, she's been through the struggle.
Yeah.
So Miss Latanya Cunningham knows what it's like.
Yeah.
So the people that she deals with, she understands.
Yeah.
Where a lot of these people behind the glass, and they don't have no experience with people, first off.
Yeah.
Then let alone somebody coming there raggedy homeless. They looking at them all fucked up.
Yeah.
So this person's now felt ostracized. They don't want to even attempt to get the services because they've already been looked down at.
Yep.
So Ms. Cunningham has been led to start tutoring all them workers to learn how to be, like you said, smile and treat these people like human beings. Because
quick question.
just because they felt a hardship don't mean that they're not human.
Yep.
And that's this fucked up society.
Quick question. So, you know, what's coming up in the near future, you know, for the movement, and you know, and you guys want to give out any events or anything, you know, that, you know, we gave out the websites, the Facebook group, or whatever, anything in a pipeline where people can, you know, check out, or something they can maybe come to, or something, an event or something like that, something going on?
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, September 29th. It's called One Day, One People, One Vision, and there are going to be events all throughout Southern California, from San Diego to Riverside to LA, where there's going to be performance of various kinds and some dialogue, just like we're having tonight.
Right.
I believe the detail about the different gigs is on the Facebook page. If not, it will be there very soon.
Right.
And then on the 13th, which is the 2nd of October, we're following that up at Cal State Fullerton. We're going to have about a half a day all discussion.
Yo, man. Too much death going around the nation, yo. Too many people dying. Brothers on the block.
You just can't get too far off into it.
Right.
But so, in order, the way we're
Brothers on the block are dying. Bullets are flying. Mothers are crying. There's no denying. Bullet lectures to the line. Brothers on the block are dying.
Discussion.
What the devil say? Talking about spraying niggas and vote those
Another follow-up question to that is something that popped in my mind is obviously, as you mentioned previously, resources. Besides those kind of resources, is there any kind of, you know, fundraising or any way you know, the mechanism for raising money, because I'm sure there's money needed to do the program that you're doing.
Black and brown brothers on the block be dying. No need to be wondering who's getting over, who's getting under. In the underbelly's raping and plundering. Just know the storm is coming when you see the lightning and hear the thundering. You hear the thundering.
You what up? You wake it up. You run the block. There's guns on the block. There's drugs on the block. You get jumped in your block. It's a government plot. You get locked up and shackled down. Snatched up from your block of town. New wage slavery, penitentiary bound. You'll find yourself. You're not a number. Waking up from mental slumber. You be fighting back. You be shoot back. You be wilding out. You be rioting out. You be built it up. So we burn it down. Fuck politicians and your treason. Fuck martial law. Fuck Donald Trump. We got the bumps. You know we thumb. We roll with God. Fuck your facade. C1 the ghetto god. With a black and brown movement. Revolutionary manifest. To manifest and change your destiny. It's destiny me.
I just meant like, you know, towards the cause, you know what I'm saying? Raising money towards the cause, like, you know, selling shirts or whatever, you know. I mean, there's people out there that have money, you know, that look for causes like this, and you know, like you said, how many people have donated to bullshit Salvation Army, bullshit Red Cross, you know what I'm saying?
Now you tell me what's really over there, we ain't even at Iraq. Too many dead not coming back, whether in a coffin or a bed. Tell me how they build big things
You know,
due
I'm
to the
just saying that, you know,
religion.
if that's not
Still alive, the time we
you know,
rely,
element to
time
it
wake
now,
up
it
and ride.
might be in the
Stop
future,
killing brothers of the colors, time that we wake up and love one another. First job post 7-8. Time to realize before it's too late. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Love one another. Love one another. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Brothers on the block are dying. Bullets are flying. Mothers are crying. There's no denying. Will the lynch is still alive. Brothers on the block are dying. Brothers on the block are dying. Bullets are flying. Mothers are crying. There's no denying. Will the lynch is still alive. Brothers on the block are dying.
Backyard, corner, park, anywhere, the body shop, wherever you know a business that you're friendly with, we can have these. In fact, we had a meeting last night about one of the events we're going to have at Grand Central Market, downtown LA, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we had a meeting, you know, everything's cool. But on the way out, we were talking to the guy that worked there. And in a 30-second conversation, we figured out how we could have an event there.
Right.
Have an open mic, perform, talk. And this guy, we did not know at all, he was extremely enthusiastic. And we find that we don't have to convince artists in the main. I don't even know if I've met one yet, that this is a problem and they need to do something about it.
Right.
You just have to give them a vision that we can do it like this. This is happening. Get connected. You can do it in your own way, and we'll hype it up. Whatever. It's not been a problem.
Okay.
There's a guy, the show in Riverside that we're having. I was talking to him the other day. He said, "Well, as soon as I heard about it, then within a few days I got 6 bands. The show's gonna have 6 bands. They're all very concerned about it. So
let me ask another question.
that's what's out there. Go grab it.
Right. How long has the organization been in effect?
About 1.5 years.
Okay.
It came out of there's a studio / performance space in Orange called the Ice House, where we've been having various events and made a couple films and all that for the last 5 or 6 years. So it was out of that. People getting to know, just a barbecue outside going on, out of all that.
It makes me chuckle a little bit because to call it an organization is almost a misnomer because there's nothing really that organized about it.
Right.
We're just a loose amalgamation of people with like-minded interests.
Right.
And we get together. And we study.
Mm-hmm.
We do study.
Yeah.
Like we sit there and we reason. Right? And it's just 2, 3, 4 people in a room and we're talking about the structures that enable this to be that have made this an issue, and how we can dismantle those structures.
Right.
And that's where we start, right? And then we do things like we all get together, and you get as many people as you can, the like-minded individuals, and we have a meeting, which we've had, meetings where it's 10, 15 people, and then we have events. Like you were talking about at the Ice House, where we had an open mic, or it wasn't even really open mic, it was just a performance. There was performers all day, and so you were performing, and then you were outside getting interviewed, about the topic of homelessness and talking about your art and things like that. And, those are the types of things we do.
Why you ain't call us? So we get them in there and
I'm telling
you guys and whatnot.
I'm kicking myself in the behind.
That's okay. That's all right. We'll be at the next one's coming.
We're going to be on
on point. Yeah.
From here on out. We are now the scene has been made.
To follow up the question, I think from what I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, at this point it's not really about money and or raising money, but more about the awareness and raising the awareness.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm
just trying to understand, and I guess questions I would have in the meeting environment and trying to understand it. Yeah.
She's hands-on. Like with her caseworkers, she's awesome.
Yeah, we do have resources. We do have people. Yeah. And we need to bring them and get them involved.
And that's why we're here. Yeah. Because we're gonna talk about how we could. The next time we have an event like that, how you guys can bring some of your people out.
Yeah.
Because we're all about
I can have a booth
and
giving out information, and signing people up, and and learning what's needed with criteria of certain things. At least, I mean, this happening. Maybe it's on a small scale, maybe it's locally right now, but at least we can start there and work from there and build on that.
Absolutely.
Time-wise, maybe.
Also, we got to start pressing these politicians.
Yeah, definitely. That's part of the making the noise.
We could do a little YouTube video.
We're gonna make them obsolete. It's gonna be so many of us working on this.
Do a little infomercial.
They're gonna be obsolete. They better get down.
But catch my point. We better kill the infomercials, the pressure they have, so it can be seen publicly about their lack of concern when they politicians to get our votes to help this shit, and they've not done it.
Right.
I'm adamant about this shit.
Yeah, they're not holding to their word. They're not being accountable for it.
With my kids, on my case, and by myself. And they wasn't helping do shit. Me and my wife, until I got put on to take care of my grandmother, rest in peace, before she passed away, I became her in-home care worker, me and my wife. Until I got that little income money, all these programs, rapid rehousing, all that shit, that's just all bullshit. Because I was on GR getting some money, and we both they wouldn't give us no help. As soon as I got that little check coming in for the in-home supported service, boom, bam, bam, bam. I was in an apartment. But without that little extra money, they wasn't helping. Now they talking about, oh, we can't. I said, that's not what it says right here in this document. So why can't I get any help? It was all about money. You ain't making enough money.
Man, we could talk about this all night. This is Black and Brown Movement Radio Podcast. This is episode 23. I'm loving
one more thing.
What we've got to this point.
All you Mark Ridley Thomas, Antonio Vitz, Solis, all you guys, Kanabi, all the new ones, you guys are all full of shit. Because I reached out to all of y'all directly through the Civil Rights channel, through the complaint channels, through all the channels, through DPSS, and all the channels, and you guys did nothing for me and my children. I lost custody of my oldest daughter. I lost my rights as a father through attorneys, legal children's action or whatever.
So just imagine if
my
you going through that.
My grandmother didn't have enough balls to try to challenge me in court because she knew she wouldn't win. I went to court against my own daughter with the Children's Alliance affiliation. They was their representation. And because I didn't have nowhere to live, because Don Kanabi and all them cats, really Thomas and them all failed to help me get housing with children on my case. I got my case closed, and I ended up getting put on GR.
I mean, shit, you can see.
You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't get no help. You know
and imagine, if he went through this, how many other people
are going
through it?
that God gave me to be a father to my oldest daughter. My first seed, it changed my life. I don't even get to talk to her now because she acts like she don't have a dad. Because of all the whole politics.
And this is just one example.
She grew up in Santa Monica with her grandparents poisoned in the well. So she didn't want to come be with dad in the struggle. So she still lives in a Ritzy, but she's lacking love. She's lacking nurturing. She's lacking all the essentials that she needs. And it's all due to the systematic failure of social service program. So yeah, I'm loving the fact of this. I'm down with it. We down with it.
Yeah, so again, you know, we can go on
Yeah, I'm
all
emotional
night
about it.
It's all good, and I mean, you're not the only one, and you speaking up for those.
They can be all these feelings so
I'm
deep.
saying who don't have the same platform.
I
You
slept
know
in my
what
car,
I'm
me
saying?
and my girl, and all that. Would never should have had to. Never should have had to. Went to the county when I was just getting evicted with all the right stuff. They didn't do nothing. The money you're supposed to get to prevent homelessness is like $2,500. I didn't get that money. I didn't get none of that. I got the 14 days to stay in the hotel, and I was intelligent enough to know how it worked, so I got the extra 16 days. Other than that, they ain't did shit. Before I even got that little $821 the dude stole from me, along with another $750 I hustled, they wasn't helping me. Then when I got connected to this scam artist, he was like, oh yeah, I called them, boom, they immediately put the money on my card. So it's a setup all the way around, because when I had my kids, they weren't doing anything to help me as a father. But then as soon as I called and said, hey, I got a place, a man wants to give me a place to live, all of a sudden they put $821. Really? I said wasn't even a down payment to move in. I hustled $750 more, $1,550, I got robbed. And then they ain't done that to this day. Then they try to get me for fraud. This system is fucked up.
Yep. So,
how are we doing on time?
Time wise, I want to give you, you know, like I don't want to just cut it like that, but I think it is a good ending to give his example and know how many people out there is going through same and similar shit, you know.
Pilot program, I've been through all that.
So it's time for your shine, brother, man. Talk to us about your latest
about
project.
Darkside now, folks.
So
and his latest project that he just released.
Definitely so Artists United to End Homelessness. That's one facet, one hat that I wear. But I'm also, you know, local, underground hip hop artist, independent. I'm independent as fuck.
EMCEE and MC.
Yeah, man. So I put it down, and so you know, I've been down with the Hip Hop Congress for a number of years since 2001. Those are my folks. So shout out to Hip Hop Congress.
Shout out to Seedless and Omniverse.
Definitely, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Definitely check out Hip Hop Congress online, hiphopcongress.com, hiphopcongress.org. We're doing a lot of things, and I would really ask you, you know, your listeners out there, and you guys too, to check out what Hip Hop Congress is doing now. We have a membership campaign. We're basically working on a kind of like social media platform for artists.
Okay.
For hip hop artists.
Right.
Of all types. So for example, I donated $100 to the cause, and I have a lifetime membership now to that social media platform. So when it's launched, I don't have to pay a dime for it. I get to use it until the end of time, or until it collapses.
So other artists can do the same?
Yeah, if you are, so right now, because they're still building it and that's costing a lot of money,
you have to be a
they're
member.
They're selling the $100 lifetime memberships. Okay. And then you get 50 tracks from Hip Hop Congress artists, 2 playlists. If you get $50, you get 50 songs, or 25 songs. You give $100, you get lifetime membership and 50 songs. One of which is a song that's on this project that we're going to talk about. So please, you know, do me the favor, do yourself a favor. You definitely won't be mad at yourself. Go to hiphopcongress.com or .org. I believe both of them will get you the same place. If one doesn't, then the other will. And you know, check out what my boy Ramen Jamal is doing. He's, you know, spearheading. We just got a whole new board set up, some new faces, some old faces. We've been working in the community for a hell of a long time across the United States.
Right.
And that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to go into too much depth about that. But you know, we mentioned Seedless and Omnivorous. Or Omnivirus. I say Omnivirus. I think he says Omnivorous.
I like that. Omnivirus though. I like that. Yeah.
So, you know, I'm also a Hard Work Microphone Collective representative, HMC for short. So, you know, Hard Work, we spell it HARDW3RK, just to be weird and you know, different and stuff like that. If you type in Hard Work like it's supposed to be spelled, a whole bunch of stuff comes up.
Yeah.
If you type in Hard Work the way we spell it, we come up. We're the ones that come up. Same reason why I'm Darkside 90042. 90042 is the zip code for Highland Park. That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
So if you type in Darkside, a whole bunch of stuff come up. But if you type in Darkside 90042, I come up.
Right.
So I highly recommend you do that. Google me.
Yeah.
Darkside 90042. All day you'll find all my socials and all my music. So just want to shout out to my hard work crew, my homeboy Terrible Calm, Omnivorous, Seedless, the homie Alpaca out in Florida, homie Tenzer, Missing in Action. Haven't talked to you for a while. If you're listening to this, holler at me. My homeboy Yotun, aka Rolo. We got a whole bunch of people.
Right.
My homeboy The Mighty Paris, Eubanks Beats, shout out LA. We got the homeboy Obese. My homeboy D-Rugs, he's doing his thing. He went back to the East Coast. He's in Boston just trying to do man shit. But these are the people that I work with. The homeboy Maru from Japan, he just came out. I missed him. I didn't get to see him. But my homeboy Maru, the producer from Japan, he came out here to be with Seedless for a minute. And then he's in Philly, or he was in Philly. I think he's back home now with IB Forever, another hard work homie from Philly. IB Forever, shout out. PEIs, there's a whole bunch of us, man. We just a loose conglomerate of artists. And then last but not least, my boy Listo, he goes by Multi Productions or Multi Beats, MOTI. It's an acronym for Mind of the Innocent. So me and him, we got together recently. We did a project called Dark Innocence. Darkside, we took the dark, and then Mind of the Innocence, we took the innocence. So it's called Dark Innocence. Fall down 7 times, get up 8. It's 7 tracks. You won't be. It's 30 minutes of your life, man.
Yeah.
And I think that if you sit with it and you start it from the beginning and you don't stop it until it stops, you're gonna get something out of it that you definitely won't be mad at yourself for. I took this project and it's some of my best writing to date. I pushed the envelope with my beat choice. Listo doesn't make boom bap beats, and that's usually what I rap on, 90s flavored stuff.
Right.
So he's a younger
Holler
cat.
at me.
Yeah, he's a younger cat. He's a younger cat, so he was bringing something to the table that I had never really had.
New trap like.
I mean, if you hear the project, you'll see what I'm talking about.
But
It's not quite that trap stuff.
But these young kids are making some real banging beats.
Some of them are, for sure. And I could rap over some of them too.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's not what this is, but it is me pushing the envelope. If you're familiar with my body of work, you'll recognize that I'm pushing the envelope. Yeah, definitely. But a lot of your listeners aren't. They can always go, Google Darkside 90042. You can get my SoundCloud. Music is free. That's another thing you could look up. Music is free records on SoundCloud. Because music is free. It's the rent that costs. That's basically like my label, if you want to call it. I'm doing air quotes for those who can't see. And definitely, so we put together this project. I was pushing the envelope with my beat choice. I did some of my deepest writing at the time. The way that we arranged the album tells a story. The intro, the intro has an underlying beat, but I took a very familiar cartoon that we all grew up with about a young baseball player who was a pitcher who had a friend who used to hold the football and he would try to kick it to and move it. I'm not going to tell you who it was because then I would be breaking some laws. But let's just say somebody put some stuff
I love
together.
peanuts, man. They're salty and delicious.
And we definitely, so I took that and I cut it up and I made it tell its own story. And the story it tells in the intro is the story of the album. It starts from a point of kind of like hopelessness and things aren't really going well and it's still darker.
Yeah.
And then it grows into the light and we see at the end that it can always be worse and that we got to be thankful for what we have. So I'd like to take you on that journey with me.
I'm gonna punch you in the leg right now because you should have me on one of them tracks.
Hey, I'm telling you, man.
I've been there. I traveled that road.
That was a time in my life where I was mad focused and mostly so my little homie MC Emo from Cal State LA, at the time he was coming through and we were working. He's on 3 tracks.
What's his name?
Edgar Morales. Shout out to the homie
Edgar.
MC Emo. Yeah, in my crib, right?
Yeah, I'm like,
that's when those are tracks we were working on.
He Instagrammed me or whatever.
There you go.
He's my buddy now.
That's
from
the homie.
Instagram or whatever.
So how can people get a hold of the album?
All right, so the best way to get a hold of the album is to go to my CD Baby. So listen closely. You got to do
Pay
the whole
attention.
https://store.cdbaby.com/CD/Dark Innocence 1.
Did you get that?
Dark Innocence 1.
Run it to him one more time. You know people out there
It's
slow.
store.cdbaby.com/CD/Dark Innocence, the number 1. And that's it.
Okay.
And so that'll take you to the website. That's where you can purchase the album. The album's for sale there for $7. You can download it track by track for $1.25 a track. So it's more expensive to download it track by track if you're getting the whole package.
Do the math, people. Do the math.
If you see me at a show or you see me out in the streets and you hit me up, I have download cards that I'll sell to you for $5 because I need the money right away.
Right.
And I can't wait for CD Baby to pay me because they wait until I make
We're
$25.
gonna get a snippet or something that we can play on the podcast for the
definitely.
people.
We will. Before we end tonight, before the podcast ends, ladies and gentlemen, I will play for you the single off of the album, if there is a single. It's the first song that we're gonna do a video for, and it's called "Take It or Leave It." And it's a song about advice, basically. Well, the song ain't about advice, but that's what we're talking about, right?
Take it or leave it,
The only thing you can do is advice.
Take it or leave it,
So
use it or lose it.
definitely, that's the centerpiece of the album, right? You get up to that point of darkness where then it's the advice, and then from there we move forward, right? You either take it or leave it. So we take it, we move forward. If you purchase the album in any of its forms, do not stop it until it stops. I'm not going to tell you why, but you will not be mad at yourself.
Right.
I'm a really creative guy, and I like to do. I come from the date and time where you had cassette tapes popping.
Yeah.
This digital stuff is new to me, so I do my stuff like if I did a cassette or I did a CD, which I did.
Right.
I pressed 100 CDs. I don't have any more physical CDs, so if you want one. I don't have them. There was only 100, so you should have caught us when we had them.
Right.
But you could get the download cards. You could download it there. You can also find it on my Bandcamp. Same price, $7 a download, $125
per song.
every time you take it. Yeah, per song. So if you listen to it and you only like a couple songs, well, get those songs. Man.
Yeah.
Get those songs for sure.
A la carte, right?
Yeah. The only thing I ask of anybody, if I might even, if you catch me in a good mood, I might give you a download card. If I think that that you would enjoy it and that you tell other people about it, I might give you a download card.
Right.
But please, if I give it to you, download the shit, man. I gave out 25 download cards and 3 people have downloaded it so far. And that pisses me off.
Hell yeah, that's whack.
But point
you know who you are with the download card.
Right?
Stop bullshitting.
If you like my music, the only thing I ask you is that you tell somebody else about it, right? Because I'm a stoner. I like to smoke weed, and the one thing about good weed is it's to be shared.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't sit in my room like, oh man, this weed is the best weed, man. Oh hell yeah. I say, oh man, it's the best weed. Let me go call the homies.
I need you to say that shit again for these dum-dums out there that don't understand what weed smoking is about.
Shared.
Each one teach one.
It's that experience.
They don't know what it really is. These perpetrators.
It's like if I cook some good barbecue, bro. I don't sit there and eat all the barbecue myself. I have the homies over to help me eat them ribs because I want them to know how good my fucking ribs are. Same thing with the weed, same thing with the music. If you like what you hear, just tell somebody about it.
Man, spread the word. Each one teach one. That's what it is.
So, I just wanted to, real quick, if I could just do an acapella before I get out of here. But I just want to make sure everybody knows how to contact me, man. The easiest way is Google Darkside 90042. 90042, that's the zip code for Highland Park. I'm the king of Highland Park, born and raised, Northeast Los Angeles representative. If anybody out there from Highland Park thinks that they might be the king or they want my crown,
bring on the challenge.
Come and get it. Come and get it.
I don't care, bro. You might be doper than me. Let's see. Let's figure it out.
Anybody can get it.
Right.
Know that.
Point being, Google that, or I got Instagram, Twitter. All of that is Darkside 90042. Right. I'm not that MC that has 10 different names. It's all the same shit, man.
That's what's up. My
YouTube is up there. Now, I'm guilty with the YouTubes. I got 3 different YouTubes. I got the Darkside.Darkside, I got the Darkside 412, and then I got the Darkside 90042. And there might be a Music is Free one out there too. But SoundCloud, Darkside 90042. SoundCloud, Music is Free Records. Bandcamp 90042, Darkside90042.bandcamp.com. It's all there. It's all legit. That's what we're doing.
So you want to spit acapella to end your little section there, and then we move on in the podcast to the next segment.
I'm gonna cheat.
He's gonna cheat.
So I got.
But they
this
couldn't
project.
see. You didn't have to tell them they couldn't see.
No, I said I told them myself. I'm about to cheat.
We keep it real up in this motherfucker.
That's right.
So this project.
So when it's not freestyle, we don't act like it is.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I don't.
No gimmicks.
Yeah, we ain't fronting over
I try
here.
not to lie, man. I lied to too many women in
No,
my
right.
life. It was hard to keep track.
Philosophy for today. Trying these rope of failure.
Right.
So you ain't tried.
Yeah,
you
stop
did
lying.
your best.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what we created to do, the best that we can. In his image, he says to do the best that you can. He didn't say try, he said do the best that you can. So if you giving your all, that's the best that you can. If anybody accepting that, welcome.
All right, so this project that I just talked about, that's out right now currently. The next project down the pipe is called Terrible Side. It's me and my homeboy Terrible Calm. As you know, there's a theme here. I put my name in all of the.
You said what?
That we
Terrible Side?
Terrible Side, yeah. So the title is The Calm Before the Dark.
Okay.
Because you put terrible calm
Right.
before the dark side,
Gotcha.
terrible side,
Gotcha.
and it's a play on the calm before the storm kind of thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So like our album
That's
cover
funny
has like
because we got an
storm
album
and
called
shit.
The Storm.
Yep.
And he has that. That's
So-
crazy.
So Terrible Calm produced most of the tracks on there, and he raps on most of them too. I would say almost all of them. With the
Wait,
exception of
stop.
one.
I need to intervene. We MCs. We don't rap. We only rapped in December.
We rap.
When we
yeah.
rap, we get. We're
When-
MCs
when
with
they-
flow.
When they
spits,
rapping them
Spit
lips.
rhymes
you know?
and bars.
I'm of the KRS One where he says rap is what you do, hip hop is what you live.
Hello.
Yeah, there you go.
Hello.
I got scholarship.
We all
to back
are
up
members of the
my-
Temple of Hip Hop.
Yep.
So there's a song called Good Thing, all right? So I'm going to spit the little chorus, then my verse, and then the chorus again. So, and once you hear it to the beat, you're going to be like, wow, it's even doper. It goes like this. Good thing, I've acquired knowledge of self. Good thing, happiness isn't measured in wealth. Good thing, I awoke to see what the day brings. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Good thing, I've acquired knowledge of self. Good thing, happiness isn't measured in wealth. Good thing, I awoke to see what today brings. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. They say good things come to those who wait, but I ain't trying to be good, homie. I'm trying to be great. Make no mistake, I stay grateful. Take my time to reflect. Got both my hands on my plate full. I'm here to make fools put respect on my name. Gonna make me come out the frame like a lame stranger. Game changer, same danger as a caged beast. Release these streets under my feet. Make me feel complete. Won't cease nor desist. Unleash spit. It's my release. Keeps my mind at ease as I search for inner peace, please. I suffer from a disease called scoliosis. I medicate with the leafy green. I mean what I say, and I say a whole lot of things. I'm a man of words, and a man whose word is bond. And when I string words upon a banging track, then it's on, never upon. I behave like a king. I'm royalty, and for your sake, that's a
Word.
good thing.
Respect.
Good thing, I've acquired knowledge of self. Good thing, happiness isn't measured in wealth. Good thing, I awoke to see what the day brings. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Good thing, I've acquired knowledge of self. Good thing, happiness isn't measured in wealth. Good thing, I awoke to see what the day brings. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Hey,
It's
we
a good
appreciate
thing
that.
It's a good thing that we're here and that we're sharing, man. Thank you.
Hey,
It's funny you say that part about
Love it.
happiness is not wealth.
Yep.
My doctor that I had is African.
Hey, that was a
doctor,
good thing, man. We
Dr.
appreciate it.
Duani. He
It's a
said
good
to
thing.
me one day, I was having a tough day or whatever and whatnot, and he said, and I didn't get it at first, and my wife, she told me, my best friend in there, Ashanti, she said, you didn't understand what he meant. But he said, you're richer than most people that are really rich. They go home to a dog and a cat. And I was like, what? And I grasped it initially. But the meaningfulness of what he said was, you have people that love you. People that give you hugs and where you deal with real interaction of real energy and love. Whereas those people that got all that money and them Teslas and all that, they go home to a big ass, empty ass house. And all I got to greet them is a cat and a dog or maybe a bird to talk.
And so that's the 360
Good
on
thing.
the 360 on that, right? Is the topic, right? The good thing is that for every bad there's a good.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey.
So keep your head up. If you keep your head up long enough, you're gonna see the good.
What's our song that we ain't dropped on everybody yet, but it's coming?
Good times. Bad times make good times better.
But
Yeah.
it's a storm that you gotta weather.
Exactly. So I mean, we're all on the same wavelength, man. This is what we do. This is what artists do.
Yep.
Right? And this right here, this moment in and of itself is manifest the power and the strength that we all have, not only as individuals but collectively. And so
And
we
as
need
you
to
say
start
that-
building that power, like not just for fun, Not just because it's cool and we have a good time and it feels
On
good,
Martin
but
Luther
because
King dream
we
type
folks to
shit.
put it
Is what
right.
he's saying.
We can put it down. We put it down with control.
Propel it.
Man, we're dope.
Yeah,
we
we
already
are.
do this shit and we
Yeah.
do it well. So now let's
Take it to the next
just like
level,
I
yeah.
expanded and use different beats.
Yeah.
Let's do something different and be activists.
Yeah.
Like really,
What I've been
on
telling
the
you.
fucking streets.
What have I
Go
been
to the
telling
concrete.
you? What have your brother been saying?
Yeah.
We
I
say
mean, we've
we
been doing
do
it. Just time to
civil
take it
rights
to the
movement.
next
We gotta
level.
now start
Exactly.
pushing the envelope.
Yep.
That's why I've been telling. We
Hey.
gotta start sweating Gil Garcetti.
I need,
all of them,
because
because
of
they
the-
all have lied, and I'm pissed off because I've experienced.
Oh
homeless-
shit! Here comes another rant.
homelessness
Watch out
before
now.
it was an
Watch
epidemic.
out now.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's an epidemic. I drive the streets and see all these tents and families.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, this is bullshit.
You know what's
We're
amazing
California.
to me?
You know
what's amazing to me is
We
I
all
drive
sitting
down
right here
that
know how
street,
much
bro.
how much money California got. Why are these people sleeping on the streets in tents?
No, we
Mobile homes.
bankrupt though.
I
Remember,
see
we
more
bankrupt.
RVs parked all around the city now. The first was just Inglewood,
Man.
and they shut all that shit down. Now they're all over
People
the
are so
place.
innovative that you could be rolling down the street and it's not just a one tent. They got like
10 cities,
complexes.
done
homie.
made a- they
Yeah,
done made a
10 cities
village.
and
They
shit.
got complexes.
Connected and yeah.
Some of these cats have like a multi-room living
Yeah.
space that
Yep.
they develop out of tarps and,
Yeah.
and thrown away furniture.
Yep. Hey,
Like, that's innovation.
no
that's,
doubt.
That's
Yeah.
humanity.
No doubt.
They don't want to be in that situation, but
they're making the
gonna
best
make
out
the
of
best
it.
that they can
Yeah.
out of that.
No.
And that
What it
what
is
makes
too
it.
though, it's some that have chosen to not deal with the systematic programs and services, so they're out there by choice because they're tired of going through the Cheerio, jumping through the
I
Cheerio
hear you.
hoops and hoops.
I
I've
hear
been
you,
there.
but that's why we need to make the system, and I'm using air quotes again for those that can't see. That's why we need to make the system actually work. We do need a system. It's
Yeah.
just the one that we have now is not working. We need to scrap it, throw it away, start over again, and build a system that does take care of its people. Because nobody wants to be out there. The only
Hell
reason why
nah.
they're choosing that is because if it is a choice, is because the system has so many barriers
Yeah.
that they say, "Fuck it, I'm better off."
I'm free out here.
Hold on, real quick,
I'm free
real
out
quick.
here. I don't have to deal with all this politics and bullshit trickles of, well, you got to do this in order to get this.
Real quick.
In order to get a meal, you got to be in by this time. I didn't live in this. Me and my wife, we passed up being in a shelter a little. Actually, it wasn't even. It was a shelter, but it was more of a residential place. They want us to give up 80% of our income. We on GR and shit. We ain't got no damn money. They want us to get them 80% of that and stay in this place, but they talking about being by 8
I just
o'clock.
figured it out.
I'm going to school. I don't get out of class till 8 o'clock.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, yeah, that's not going to work. They wasn't even willing to
I already
accommodate.
wrote one.
Oh, there you
I just
go.
got to get it
So
published.
it's just
The
it's
birth
close
of,
to
it's
that.
called the birth of a movement.
That's the next.
Real
You
quick,
need to write
though,
a
real
book,
quick.
but you got these stories
Some-
that people need to know.
I got
Yeah.
2 books that's gonna be
Yeah.
right now. It's one about this
So
homelessness,
some little podcast
but the
business
first
real
book is
quick.
about the night
We
I
can
got
we can
blasted.
keep we can keep
That's
doing what
about
we
the night I
doing.
got shot.
But I need
That's
my
my title of my
I need
book.
my other
The Night I
host
Got
agreement on this.
People gonna think I'm talking about getting loaded and all that other shit.
I need my host agreement on this
What's
that
up with it?
for this podcast, just the way it's vibing out. We're gonna go on and just skip we already skipped current events. We doing what we
top
doing.
5.
No,
we're doing top 5.
Yeah, there's no way you gonna
'cause that's
fuck the top
related
5. When I was
that's
gonna say
related to the topic.
let's remove
My bad.
sports in this one.
Excuse me for that.
With my host agreement, let's go on and
So,
remove
I just wanna
sports and
say-
just
Yeah.
keep doing what we're doing, and then with the top
I
5,
just
we'll end
wanna
it with
say
the
that
top
I know
5.
all y'all brothers.
It's kind of
I mean,
hard to
listen,
want to skip sports.
I know all y'all
with the new
brothers love
football
sports,
season.
bro. I'm not a big
But we gonna
sports
skip
fanatic.
it.
I apologize for taking up your sports time.
Nah, we could
nah,
we
we
can.
all
One thing I
good.
heard is that y'all happy that it's football season, so let's say that. Cheers to football
Yeah.
season for
Yeah.
Fuck the NFL, but I still
Yeah.
support my team, baby.
That's right.
Just like fuck war and I support the troops.
That's
Fuck
right.
the NFL and I support my team and my players.
That's right. And we don't
And
support
shouts
the
out to
we
Nike.
don't support the
and
national
Colin
anthem,
Kaepernick.
but we support the flag.
I still got issues with Nike, but you know they're cool for doing what they did this time.
Yeah.
But it's still, it's for the
Oh,
wrong
well, you
reasons,
know.
man. But at least there's a platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless
I mean,
of
look what they
their
did with
motivation
Serena
is,
too,
there
though.
is a
It's
platform,
not just
so.
him. What
Yeah.
they did with Serena,
And
because they
you see-
created
you see
that
what
cat
she
suit
just
that
went
got
through.
banned,
Yeah.
and then they stood
But
up
you see
like
what she just
like.
experienced in her last tournament
Yeah.
in the U.S. Open.
That's
That
all-
judge
that's
was
all
on
part-
That's why we talk about
So it
sports,
ties
though.
in perfect timing.
That's
So-
why we talk about sports, because of those types of
Yeah, how
you
it
know,
ties in. For sure.
yeah.
Where we got so top 5.
Yeah, I mean, we could top 5 and then.
We got to cover a little bit of football. I can't.
Okay, all right, man. All right, we're gonna go on and cover some sports
I'm a
real
real
quick.
football. I'm a real.
We'll go on and lead it
sports
off
fan.
then, and then that gives. We still got time. We'll add that in, and then we'll go on and
College
top
football,
five.
football, and all, folks. It's that time of the season. You know what I'm saying? This past weekend, we kicked it all off. College and NFL. So, I'm a diehard Steelers fan. My brother's diehard Packers. And our host, Ivan Devious Castillon, he's a diehard Niners.
49er fan.
Who you down with,
Browns.
me?
The
My
Browns.
Man, ain't this a bitch?
And you guys just tied for the first.
My man Lee is the adversary. He's a rival. He's down with the Browns.
That's it.
Big respect.
Much respect,
You
brother.
guys,
Much
I got
respect,
respect for
yeah.
your management and everything that you guys did in this free agency.
Yeah, off season,
and the
yeah.
draft. You guys did fucking great shit.
Yeah, it showed in game one.
And, yeah, because Tyrod Taylor, everybody's on Baker Mayfield, all this, but you can't go put a rookie in a season situation. He gonna get gobbled up because blitzes is coming non-stop.
I hope y'all MCs are paying attention. Those of you that are trying to come for my crown.
Y'all not ready.
Nah.
But back to what we talking about football, because hey, he don't like sports, but guess what? He'll run that game. He'll run that game on you. Don't get it twisted.
Not to mention, MCing is a sport. Don't trip.
So back to that Browns game. We had the game locked down. We got a kickoff. The ball hit my man Chubb upside the helmet, rolled up in the air, but because the ball trajectory didn't change, the reviews and all that shit didn't come in our favor. From that point on, the game changed. It's called momentum. That shit swung in Cleveland Browns' favor. All of a sudden, we were from being up and the game looking like, oh, it was all over, to we were deadlocked in a motherfucking tie.
They be changing
Going
jerseys
into
like a motherfucker. Huh?
Going into fucking
Momentum.
overtime. I was like, this is some bullshit.
Oh, you know what? It's tricky.
And look,
I'm
I'm a fan of the game.
Yeah, let me fuck with it.
So
Yeah.
I'm not mad I'm mad we had a tie, but not because of the Cleveland Browns game and their effort, but because of the bullshit review and officiating. Why do we have it if they don't get it right? But beyond that, big ups to the Browns. They played their ass off with their new squad. They did their thing, and they made a noise throughout the whole NFL that some what's that sports talk host have been talking about the Browns, and a lot of people have been disrespectful. And I'm a Steelers fan, diehard, since like 77, 78, way back.
I forgive you.
But I know the history of our rivalry, and that's just fact. After this past Sunday, I can fully say we might have a big lead in the series, but from now on, my squad need to know they better fucking come with A1 game, or we can come up with a fucking L and not a tie.
Okay.
And I'm mad about that shit.
All right.
But big ups to the Browns.
I mean, not only
and that
that.
whole organization, and shouts out to Coach Hugh Jackson.
You got to move your game and your
went
team
with the
and then
veteran
I'll do
quarterback
mine. He did
instead
his.
of falling into the hoopla and all the press going with the rookie.
I was gonna talk
It
about
paid off for you. Good job, Coach. And shouts out to Lee to be that fucking ballsy to say he's a Browns fan when he already seen my keychain. Steelers always, but hey, I respect the game.
That's
I'm a
what's
fan
up.
of the game.
That's what's up. Ivan, what's your take on your first game, man?
Uh-oh.
49ers, you know,
JG let him down.
speak on it.
It's all right, Obviously, Jimmy G had three picks. It's all right.
That cost y'all the game, yo.
But you know what? That didn't really. It was.
Yes, it
Hold on,
was.
hold
It was
on.
part of it, obviously.
That was it.
That was
I watched the game.
I know we were watching it, but the other disappointment was there was a lot of plays that they could have caught the ball. Garcon could have caught it.
Yeah,
Pettis
some
could have caught
butter
it.
Some butter knuckles was going on.
Ah.
You lost Goodwin. That was really what hurt
Yes,
y'all.
that's what really. We lost Goodwin, and that's what really hurt me. And then McKinnon, he's out for the season. We got out for Morris. He didn't do that bad. That's our running back. Obviously, we played the #1 defense in the NFC in Minnesota.
One of the top teams in
Hey,
the league.
they were nasty.
Yeah, and you didn't get blowed out either.
They nasty though.
That's how you can tell it
That
wasn't a
front
blowout
line of the
game.
Vikings.
We got them next week.
Oh my God, they were fucking a beast.
Well, either way, I still believe that we will be in the wild card in the NFC. I still have hopes for that.
Okay.
So
It's possible.
we got
You
Detroit.
guys look good.
We got our whole game next week against Detroit. And
I think you can win that.
I think y'all should win that.
We should win that at home.
Okay, I'm a Packers fan,
Die hard,
man.
cheese.
Hey, before
Put
you
on
say-
that steel plate though. Put on that steel plate
played a
Thank
lot
you,
to
thank
know.
you, thank you, thank you.
I have to give it that. I give it props to Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, Magic.
Mad.
On one leg, baby.
One
on
leg.
I watched that.
We were
shit.
watching it together, and
my
I was
God.
packered out. I had my socks on, my
Yeah, he was
jersey, my
packered
hat,
out.
packered
He
out.
was.
Every, you know, and man,
Hat on, all that.
props to Khalil Mack, man, and props to the Bears for snatching them up. I'm still mad that my Packers weren't, you know, that they didn't pull the
Raiders
trigger.
are
And
stupid.
Raiders are dumb, and I
Hey,
kind of
Raider
feel
fans,
like
hate on me if you won't be mad.
Yeah.
But your organization is fucking stupid.
That's why you guys re-signed Montavious Weidenbeck.
right, and I'm
right.
like,
I
hey,
just signed him to a year contract, and he's still facing suspension.
I'm still mad that we didn't pick up Khalil, but okay, I got to get over it, right? So we gotta meet this fool.
Well, you
Game
know
one.
what I say in your defense of your organization? They wasn't about to give up 2 first-round picks and a second and a third round pick.
Then you had to turn around and pay him all the money like the Bears did.
Right.
And we just got through paying
But then there was
A-Rod.
still a question mark from him being injured.
Yeah.
So that's
and
what
not
made
playing.
certain teams be like, I don't know.
But I mean, he showed out first
But
round.
damn, he earned his money in game 1.
He showed out first half,
I
but
live across the street from a Packer bar,
right.
so I can tell what's
Where you
happening.
stay at?
Huh? Culver City.
Yeah,
Culver City?
I know the one you're
Culver
talking
City?
about. I haven't been
Down
there,
there?
but I know the one you're
Down
talking
there?
about. Yeah,
So I can tell what's happening in the Packer game just
because you could hear it. Huh? Yeah.
or you can't hear anything.
Right. So first half you didn't hear shit, and second half it was all noise.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, hey, A-Rod, man, on one leg
Magic Rogers,
came
yo.
out and did his thing,
I
man.
saw that shit. That motherfucker couldn't even step on his left leg.
Yeah.
But he,
He's great.
dude.
I ain't gonna
he's
front, man.
fucking
I
magic,
was
man.
nervous, dude. I was nervous after
Magic
you know,
Man Rogers,
17
yo.
to
I
nothing
saw
first
it.
half.
I seen it last year with the fucking Hail Mary, and I saw it this year in the disappearance in the first half.
Yeah.
On the cart, wheeled out. Some motherfucker came back in the second half with a sleeve on his fucking leg.
Yeah.
Couldn't even put real weight on it.
Nope.
With chucking fucking ball like 60 yards.
Hell yeah.
Perfect strike.
Yep.
Because that defender had great
Oh, he was on him.
immaculate
He was
coverage,
on him. Yep.
but the pass was better.
Dropped that shit in there in the bread basket.
I was like, no, you didn't do that shit.
Okay, so NFL Week 1 was definitely exciting. You know, we had the
Man, you had a bunch of dope
Browns
ass
and the
games.
Steelers a friggin' tie Week 1. Really? They didn't lose.
The Lions. What about
the Browns
the
didn't
Lions?
lose. You know.
Stafford with 4 picks.
Yeah, you know, there was some
the
good
Raiders
games.
looking like the Faders.
Hey, the
with
Rams
Carr
doing
with
their
3
thing.
picks.
Yep. You know, 49ers, they put up a good fight. So
What about
yeah,
the Ravens with the blowout?
Oh yeah, they blew them out.
But you know, they didn't really
That's
play
the Bills,
nobody.
man.
That's
Yeah,
what I
you
was
know.
gonna say, they didn't really play
So there was
nobody.
some good games, man. I'm looking forward to next
Seahawks
week.
look
And
good. Even, I think, did they lose?
no, they lost to Denver.
Yeah, they lost.
It was a battle though.
Great. Denver won on the last.
Yeah, it was a touchdown
It was like
in the
your
back.
last play or whatever.
Yeah, so there was some good games. I'm saying if I don't know if we're gonna go.
The
into-
Eagles-Falcons game on Thursday night was fucking epic.
Yeah, that was pretty good. The Falcons, man.
And they got Bennett now as they on their line. Them motherfuckers is the problem in the NFC. And the Bears, Khalil Mack, the Bears. Everybody better respect the Bears.
So I mean that's the
NFC,
NFL. I mean, you know, I don't know if we're gonna talk about the NBA or
they didn't speak about the
Major
Rams,
League
though.
Baseball.
They
No,
look
I
good.
mean, yeah, they look good.
They look good.
Marcus Peters got the pick 6 towards the end of the
Donald
game.
didn't do nothing.
No.
They look good. That's
Sue
a
didn't do
problem.
nothing either. Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Really NFC for motherfuckers.
Even what's the name wasn't doing much,
Yeah.
but you know they did their thing. You know,
Yeah,
Gurley.
right now.
Gurley obviously, you know, he did his thing, and yeah, the Rams look good. They're gonna be there. So I mean, we gonna fuck with NBA, NBL.
NBA? No.
No, there's nothing yet.
There's nothing about NBA.
Yeah,
right
there's
now.
really nothing to talk about the Dodgers right
Dodgers
now either.
right now need to get their shit together
Yeah.
and make it to fucking October.
Right. That's
Other
it.
than that, I ain't talking
Yeah,
about nothing
that's
right
it.
now.
That's all. All right, I think we about done with the sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Live song, can we have sex for the sport of it?
Right. But yeah, that's probably it for the sports, man. The last segment here that we got, and I hope everyone kind of thought a little bit on it. Is our what is it, Marcus?
Top 5.
You know, every segment we do it, and the top 5 usually relates to the main topic of you know, of the podcast, which this podcast is dedicated to Artists United to End Homelessness, and so the main theme of this podcast is homelessness, and so we came up with the top 5 reasons to end homelessness. And so I'm hoping my guests thought a little bit on it, because we're going to start with either one of you, whoever's ready to go. You could either go 5 to 1, 1 to 5, you know. It could be, you know, importance, you know, lowest being 5, highest being 1, vice versa. It doesn't matter. It's your top 5. You know, you could have the same as someone else. It don't matter.
So, my top 5 reasons for ending homelessness are number 5.
Okay.
We are all human beings.
Right.
Number 4. We are all human beings.
Right.
Number 3.
We're all human beings. Okay.
Number 2.
We're all human beings. Let me guess what number 1 is. Let's all say it together. We're all human beings. I got you. Okay.
Yes, sir. That is my top 5 reasons why we should end homelessness.
Okay.
Top 5 reasons we should end homelessness. Number 1, there's mothers living in the street.
Man.
Right.
Number 2, there's fathers living in the street.
Right.
Number 3, there's children living in the street.
Right.
Number 4, there's people dying in the street.
Right.
Number 5, I've been homeless, led me into some bad situations and a lifetime gift of PTSD. If we ended homelessness, I could fully heal.
Right.
Well, I'm going to piggyback off of his. I'm going to go with my 5.1. There are veterans in the street.
Right.
Which is a damn shame when they've given their lives to protect us, and you motherfuckers in the government and in the Senate haven't given a damn about them. It's a damn shame as Americans and the American government that you have failed to take care of our veterans that have serviced us to have freedom and peace of mind. It's a damn shame.
All right. My top 5. I'll go with number 5. For me, my number 5 reason to end homelessness is it doesn't make sense. Number 4 is we're one of the richest nations in the country, but have one of the highest homeless populations in the country. You know, number 3 is, you know, the fact that you look at third world countries who living off the land or, you know, doing what they can to survive. They even have, you know, you look at Brazil, look at, you know, countries in cities in Africa, you know, they got shacks or whatever. They make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Shanties, you know what I'm saying? Shacks, you know, they make it happen. And we don't even have that. And as you mentioned earlier, Lee, you know, supposedly there's budgets for it, and that's not even happening. So that's my number 3 reasons why we need to end homelessness. Number 2 would be what you mentioned earlier, and the fact of that we have space. We have living spaces that are not being used, and yet we have all these millions of homeless people. That's my number 2 reason. And my number 1 reason goes to what piggybacking off of what my brother Darkside was saying is humanity. My number 1 reason we need to end homelessness is because it's our right. I mean, not our right, but our duty as human beings, and you know, to show the humanity of doing our part to end homelessness. That's why my number 1 reason why we need to end it.
All right. My top 5 reasons would be, first off, I've experienced many years of being homeless, would be my number 5. My number 4 would be because it's just totally ungodly for people to be living out in the streets. Number 3 would be the fact that I see people out here every day living in tents. I see families. I don't just see adults, I see children. I see old people, elders. It's sad. So that would be my number 3. It's disheartening to see that. And it's really, it's out of control, and it's growing every day as we're sitting right now. Some person and some families are entering into this epidemic of homelessness. My second reason would be the fact that as my brother stated, we are one of the largest economic countries in existence. We're a superpower. There's no reason that we are the largest population of homelessness in the world existing. And the number one reason for me would be about homelessness, because I've experienced it being a single father, and I don't feel it's fair for any children, any child in this world to have to watch their parents go through the mental and emotional anguish and struggle to figure out how they're going to keep their children safe from the cold when, like you said, we have all this space and opportunity to stop this, but they're not doing anything about it. So my number one reason would be to prevent children to experience what they might have seen their parents experience. And I speak on that from my own personal experience.
Generational.
So now I fight adamantly to give information to people to help them not be homeless. There's an encampment program that Hoppings and there's some other organizations have created, so you don't have to be out there and you don't have to necessarily leave early in the morning. There's ways.
I would ask.
It's just that, experiencing it. When you experience it, it makes you fight for it even more. And it's not about myself. It's about those that don't have the voice or have the willpower to fight because they're mentally broke down.
Listen up. So I'm a teacher by trade. That's what I do for a living, and so I'm gonna give my folks here homework. And y'all homework is the people who run this podcast is if you could do me a favor and either in the description or in the comments link a couple resources.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
Have to do with homelessness.
Yeah.
And Lee, I'm gonna ask you to submit something something along the lines of some of the write-ups that we have about our organization to put in the comments or in the description as well.
Yeah.
For this podcast. Okay.
We'll put it in a podcast in every social media platform we have.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the defining issue of our lifetime right now.
Yeah.
Homelessness is the most important thing that we are facing, and it is a scourge, and it needs to be eradicated. It is a part of a machine that is going to eat itself.
Yeah.
It's the Matrix. We're living in the Matrix.
We got to unplug them.
Will not sustain into infinity. It will eventually collapse. And so we got to start thinking about that. We are in what could be the last stage of capitalism. We need to start thinking about that and constructing a system that works for all human beings.
As you did, I have to do it too, because I was thinking as you were talking on it, and what I had said in my top 5.1, those countries that give free healthcare, they give
Copenhagen.
You know what I'm saying? They give what is it? It's free healthcare, free education. I don't ever hear them having problems of homelessness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't hear them having problems with crime, problems with drugs. They have those situations, where they have the drugs out and free in the open. Traveling mercies, brother. And communicate and let us know you're good.
Oh yeah.
Ivan C out, man. Say something real quick on the way out.
I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually going to Del Mar, San Diego. Got to work out over there for an event. Got to work for the Kaboo Festival, which will be, West Khalifa's going to be there.
Okay.
Foo Fighters, Blondie. It's a 3-day festival.
A diverse music festival.
Music festival.
Hey.
The Kaboo
If you get a chance to holler at
San
somebody,
Diego.
tell them about Artists United to End Homelessness.
Yeah, do us a favor.
Make sure you spread that.
Spread the word.
Absolutely.
Tell them to check out the episode.
Exactly.
Just give out the link.
The information.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you will see it also.
He got access to all of them.
You will also see it on the Black and Brown Movement 88 on Instagram. You will see videos, footage, and then at the Del Mar.
That's what's
up.
up.
Okay.
So
all right,
I'm
man.
filming that.
Yeah, be safe. Travel in mercy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just had to, you know what I'm saying, that those countries, I think that's a huge part of it. You know what I mean? You talked about students that are homeless. If you have free education, any money you make can go towards, your housing.
Right.
You got free health care. If how many people with health issues, affects their homelessness. They give free child care. You're talking about children, you know what I'm saying,
Listen,
being
man, I'm going to tell you how
homeless.
easy it is, bro. This is how easy it is. And I know my brother Lee's going to second me on this, man. if we reduce the military budget by
Oh,
5%,
God.
we can end homelessness.
What's that budget now?
they just-
$1 trillion?
No, they just it's like
billion?
I don't know how many billions they just approved for military. Like,
If we cut the military
who are we
budget
fighting?
by 5%.
Who are we fighting? Who are we going to war
Ourselves.
against?
I mean,
It's not the war.
We've been in war.
Military
for the
and
last,
war is
what,
not about
70 some
fighting.
years.
You know, in
100
wars,
years.
it's about going to protect resources and
no,
going. It's
the
about
way to
money.
make money.
It's about
That's a
money.
whole other podcast.
Right,
bro.
yeah, yeah,
That's a
yeah.
whole other podcast. I got another organization I'm gonna bring in for the
Okay,
next time.
okay.
We can talk about that.
All right. Yeah, we right about at the time, man. I think we
Hey, I
covered
just
it
wanted to
all.
thank you,
No,
gentlemen,
we're gonna
for
give you
you.
ending words right
Proud of
here.
you guys.
We're gonna give you ending words. Go ahead, say yours. Give it to him, and then we do what we do at the end.
Yeah, I just so this is proof, man. We're sitting in the living room right now. This is proof. You could do this anywhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be in a sellout venue of 100,000 people.
Yeah.
You could do this on a street corner with
Don't
5
gotta be a
people.
fancy studio.
Okay. And I'm not saying don't do it on
Yeah.
those big stages, but do it everywhere.
Right.
All right. Understand one thing: we are all human beings. I've said it over and over again. We're all human beings, and we all need to treat each other like human beings, and we all need to be more human. We need to care more.
Human
We need to
kindness.
smile more. We need to interact more and be nice to each other. A better world is possible, homie. Hashtag a better world is possible. When you see something that's beautiful, people being human to each other, put that hashtag.
Comment
a better
on it.
world is possible. Congratulate your brothers when they are successful, when they meet their goals. We celebrate victories both big and small. Be more human.
That's
This
what's
is
up.
Darkside 90042. Google me. Check out my music. Tell somebody about it. Let's get together and end homelessness, my people.
That's what's up.
That's the best shit.
I
Lee?
love you.
Oh, well, I'm a young man. It's true. I'm glad you noticed and pointed that out.
Word.
But I do remember, my grandfather told me, I do remember when radio was just something that was given to us and we took it or not and we didn't have any input into it.
Right.
This right here, this is the future of radio, the future of communication. Because that whole infrastructure is collapsing, and it's so feels so good to be a part of, the cutting edge of tomorrow, which is, yeah, we're just in someone's living room, this
Yep.
and that's going on, but this 10 million living rooms.
Right.
That's the way I would frame it.
Yeah.
And it's happening. It's not, like if you're on the bus, probably 5 or 6 people on that bus have a podcast.
Right.
One of the things that we talk about sometimes, I gotta be honest and say, it ain't gone beyond talk yet, to somehow link the podcasters.
Right.
Just as another way to unite our people, because there's so many of them. I got a podcast.
Like we're doing with
All kinds of
Sneaky.
children got a podcast.
Shouts out to Sneaky, the afterparty.com. Appreciate you letting us on the
Big
podcast,
ups to
man.
Sneaky.
We'll see you Friday
Young
at
man with good
the
energy.
Redwood Bar,
Speakeasy.
In Maywood.
in Maywood. Yeah.
It's
No, we
called the
appreciate you.
Redwood Room.
Redwood
Maywood.
Room. Yeah.
Redwood Room. If you look at the Redwood
Off
Room,
of Slauson and Atlantic.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what it is.
We'll
We'll
be
be
there.
there Friday. Come check us out.
Real hip hop in the building, folks.
Lee, we appreciate you coming through.
thank you.
I appreciate you, especially after missing the meeting with a lot of heads. I'm sure you guys had out there in Santa Ana. Wasn't able to make it, but I'm glad you sought out for this meeting here. Darkside, thank you as well for facilitating the communication and connection with Sneaky, and that was a beautiful podcast. Check that
I'm a
out.
bridge builder, homie.
That's
I'm
what
a
it
bridge
is.
builder. I'm just trying to build bridges.
So-
We built too many
Not
walls.
trying, man.
Yeah.
Bridges.
Building
Trying
bridges.
these rooms
I got
for failure,
something
Right,
world.
right.
Yoda said.
Remember
Let's
that.
don't try.
Trying
Right?
these rooms
Out
for
there.
There it
failure.
is. That's it.
We don't want to fail, so we not trying. We doing
I'm
this.
just building bridges,
Yeah.
homie. That's all I do.
So, I mean, as we do every time to end our podcast, Mad Verbals, Mad Scientists, what we tell the people, man.
One
One
love,
one movement. Black and Brown Movement Radio Podcast, episode 23.
23.
Good night. We out.